Okay, so can I just begin by reminding us why we're all here? So on the 19th, we'll all be taking part in a Safeguarding Adults review into the circumstances of Sophia Gillespie's death. So the aim here today is to collate information and to discuss what will contribute to the health element of the SAR on behalf of each of our services.
In my experience, it's all about collective learning. Coming up with recommendations is nothing to worry about.
Thank you, Patrick. So Natalie, can we start with you? As Sophia's GP, you'll have been her first point of contact, of course.
Actually, I wasn't her first point of contact,
Okay. Well, is there any information you can share with us about her diagnosis or her medical history?
Of course. Sophia was referred to my practice by the mental health team about 4 years ago. I understand that initially she presented to you with concerns about low mood and substance abuse. Apparently she was treated for drug dependency several years previously, but couldn't recall who by or where. She has a 6-year-old daughter who lives in the same town, but with her paternal grandparents. No mention of a father, no ongoing relationships.
Right, so could we have explored her domestic situation in more detail, do you think?
It would have helped us understand her risk factors a bit better.
The record contains one mention of rough sex with a boyfriend, and there's a reference to strangulation. But apparently, Sophia understood the meaning of consent and agreed that this was a consensual sexual activity.
Did she have the mental capacity to agree to that? I thought she had a learning disability.
Well, there's no record of any formal mental capacity assessment. These are locum's notes, but he's...
I don't think Sophia did have a learning disability. That wasn't my experience of her.
Was there a formal diagnosis?
There was a query about a mild learning disability when she first registered, but no confirmation, no.
Was there a reason you didn't look into that? I would have thought professional curiosity would have made...
As I was about to say, the locum who registered Sophia left the practice a while ago. I don't know his rationale.
But it does look like we could have investigated a potential risk factor there.
I'm wondering whether Sophia understood any of the advice our ambulance crews gave her.
Where did this learning disability diagnosis come from again?
I never saw anything.
Does it matter? I mean, Sophia couldn't always communicate clearly. She didn't often understand what was being asked or what she was being told.
But English wasn't her first language, and drug use can cause speech difficulties.
I think we're going down a rabbit hole here. I mean, the point is that there's some gaps in the narrative. Now, who was Sophia's first point of call after she entered the UK?
That would have been my service.
So can you tell us how Sophia came to your attention in the first place, Peter? That might help us to fill in the missing parts of Sophia's story.
Can we just take a break first, because I need to check with my boss about some confidentiality issues?